It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, today I want to discuss managed print services and the IT services space and our friends over at SYNNEX. Folks, I Googled SYNNEX managed print. This is the page. I get the HP logo right there. Let me read this to you. Managed print, introducing HP Page Plus, powered by PrintSol. Folks, God, my imagination goes crazy when I think about this major distributor, SYNNEX, having DCA technologies. And I've shared with you how they're going to come and disrupt all those friends of mine that sell supply and service print equipment to businesses. But a lot of those dealer friends of mine, they just don't get it. You know, they're looking at SYNNEX getting DCA technologies and they're thinking to themselves, yeah, bring it on, IT company. You want to compete against me with managed print? I will eat your lunch. We're the managed print kings. You're an IT provider. We're going to crush you. You see, a lot of my friends, they think that competition is going to come the same way it came for the last 40 years. But disruptions are disruptions. And the competition coming to my friends that sell supply and service print equipment to businesses is coming in a way that you're not imagining. I tried to share with you what I imagine, and I think it went over most of your heads. And so today I want to try to do it again in a different way. I'm going to do it like a role play. I'm going to sit here in this white chair, and I'm going to pretend that I'm talking to a rep at SYNNEX. And I'm an IT services company. It's called Ray's IT Services. And I'm calling up SYNNEX to place an order for 1,000 laptops for my hospital that I do IT services in. And I want you to listen to this conversation. And if you're a dealer that sells and services print equipment, I want you to start using your imagination. And I want you to think about it this way. Could what Ray is saying happen? Is this probable? Because I'm sure you're going to conclude this could easily happen. And once you conclude this could easily happen, then you need to start positioning yourself to protect yourself against it happening. Because if you're not aware of how you can be defeated, guess what? You're going to fall mercy to those who plan and execute your defeat. So without any further ado, let's jump into the role play. So here I am, I'm at my desk, I'm getting ready to order my 1,000 laptops from SYNNEX. Ding! That was the phone. Hello, Ray, how's it going? It's going great. How you doing, SYNNEX? I'm doing fantastic. Hey, I need to place that 1,000 laptop order. Oh, that's fantastic. You got the hospital. Yeah, I got the hospital. Man, it's great. We are killing it in that hospital. We are killing it there. We're selling them all kinds of stuff. So what's your reoccurring revenue up to now, Ray? Well, we're doing about $150,000 a month in services-only revenue. It's not a really big hospital. It's kind of a regional hospital. But right now, we're doing $150,000 a month in pure services around IT. We just did a huge compliance assessment. It cost $200,000 to the hospital, so we're excited about that. And, you know, this laptop thing, they needed some laptops, so we're glad you guys can work with us at getting some price and get those in there. But we love that hospital. We're doing some neat stuff in there. Well, that's fantastic, Ray. Hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but we have some DCA technology. You know, we have a data collection agent that you could load up in that hospital, and it would tell us everything anybody could possibly want to know about every print device in there. Ah, look, SYNNEX, I told you guys before, I don't give a crap about managed print. Managed print is like 1.5% of the technology spend in this hospital. I don't give a crap about 1.5% of the money. I want all the rest of it. I mean, it'll just bog us down. I mean, the current vendor that's in here, you know, I saw their supply cabinet one time just overflowing with toner. I mean, they got toner in there. They don't even have the machines the toner goes in, and it's just a mess. You know, their techs are coming in with toner all over their clothes, and who the hell wants that business? I don't even know how they make any money, because I look at the contracts, because I'm the IT provider, and they share all that information with me at the hospital, and I'm thinking to myself, how are these people even making any money? I mean, they've had the same vendor providing print equipment to them for like 9 years, and every time they renew the contract, the hospital saves money. I'm thinking to myself, what kind of business is that? No, I don't want anything to do with managed print. Whew. Boy, that was a lot to digest, but most of the dealers watching this, they understood everything I just said, and they know that I'm probably spot on. Let's finish the conversation. Well, Ray, here's the reality. We know that you don't want to sell print. We don't want you to sell print. But we believe that this data collection agent that we have is so powerful, it will give so much insight to that hospital about their print equipment. And because you don't even want to sell the print equipment, you know, you're kind of like a neutral party in this. they would probably respect your opinion, wouldn't they? Well, of course they would, especially if they have skin in the game. That kind of makes sense. What do you want me to do? Well, we want you to go to that hospital and just load up this tool. And then we'll get all this information together and we'll sit down with you and tell you what we find. But I'll tell you, Ray, these are some of the things we're going to find out. We're going to find out that they have printers on the network that are so old that are really, really vulnerable to security risk. We're going to find out that they have equipment that is so unproductive and costs so much more that they would have just did something else. We're going to find out that they got a whole bunch of oversold A3 machines running through the hospital and they can reduce it to A4. We can find out a lot of things to help that hospital be much more productive around print. Well, that sounds pretty cool, so I'll go out and do that, no problem. Now a couple of days fly by and Ray's back on the phone with TD SYNNEX. They got the report. Hey, Ray, we just want to let you know we got the report. We sent it over to you. Did you look? Oh, my God, there's all kinds of information on this. This is fantastic stuff. I mean, if I would have known how much was going to be on this report, I could have actually sold this to the hospital. Hell, I might still go in there and get them to pay for this. But I'll be real honest with you, you're recommending a lot of equipment changes in here. And like I said, I don't want to do any part of that. So how would I go about that? Don't worry about it, Ray. We have a great relationship with HP. They'll take that part. Well, that's kind of good because that current vendor that's in there, I sure as hell don't want to help them get print in there. I mean, they tried to come in and take some of my IT business one time. A couple of years ago, they put IT on the end of their name. They went in and told the hospital that they were an IT services company. Of course, the hospital laughed their ass off when they tried to give them a free assessment. They realized they didn't know what they were doing. But I don't really want that company to stay in there. If I could get them out, that'd be fantastic. Could HP help me do that? Well, sure they could. Well, that's fantastic. I'm glad I called and bought all those laptops from you. Little did I know that I was going to completely disrupt a print company and take away 1,000 of their devices, and they don't even know I was coming. It's amazing stuff, technology. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the power of DCA technologies in the hands of major distributors. And I'm hoping that my friends paid attention to my little skit, because this day is coming. This day is coming. And you have to be in a position to fight against that. And the only way you're going to be in a position to fight against that is you better start being able to offer other services besides just print, so that you're not so obligated to these outdated print practices and these outdated print business models that would force you to go into that hospital and do some stupid things for the benefit of selling some hardware over the benefit of solving real problems for a customer. Folks, the competition's coming. And the biggest disruption to my friends that sell, supply, and service print equipment is that other people are going to have other conversations with your customers, conversations that you never had, because these other people don't give a crap about managed print services. So I'm going to end today's video with more proof that they don't give a crap. Please pay attention to this. Because when you finally realize that IT service providers don't give a crap about print, then it will sink into your head that they don't mind giving all the data they get about print to somebody else. They won't care. That's the threat. So let me show you this. There's a blog out there, Channel E to E. I recommend to all my friends in the Document Image channel, please go to Channel E to E blog. Joe put together a list of all the acquisitions, the M&A activity since COVID started. He's been doing this for a long time, but I went back in the last couple of years. There's been 2,090 M&A deals. 2,090, not one of them M&A deals was an IT services company buying a print company. Not one. Because IT providers realize that print represents 1.5% of the total spend. They want the rest of the money. This is the biggest threat. If the IT service providers don't care about delivering print the way you're delivering it, they can be extremely disruptive to you in a way that you can't even imagine, until right now, hopefully. But folks, I got one more thing to prove to you. Okay? So our good friends over there at Fisher's, what did they just do? They acquired VLCM Managed Print Services is acquired by Fisher's Technology. Let me just read this to you. It's CRN announced the acquisition of its VCLM Managed Print Services business by Fisher's Technology effective today. VLCM will retain all other areas of business, including cybersecurity, data center, BU, DR, visualization, hybrid cloud, networking, Microsoft, UC, audiovisual, and professional services. It seems that VLCM didn't think managed print services was anything to be professional services about, right? They wanted it out of there. They wanted that out of their portfolio. It was 1.5% of the revenue. Do you see what happens when IT companies don't value managed print services the way you do, but you're basing a value that was built back in the 90s? IT service providers are basing a value in a whole lot different way. And the way they value it is the disruption. You know, I made fun of this. I did a satire about it. I've been joking about it for a while. CompTIA, the most trusted training platform for all the IT world, wasn't getting enough response to their managed print services training. They threw it in the trash, right? It went over to the MPSA. Folks, we got to wake up because this is a big threat. IT Savvy, a $200 million IT company, got out of their managed print, sold it off to a dealer, right? This is happening. And if you don't understand the importance of the IT community not caring about managed print, and how that disrupts you, I'm hopeful today's video finally sunk it in. Because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck at status quo, and I'll see you.